part of a tweet here from Ashke Kathari on Twitter. He asks, why do we keep dedicating our brightest minds, billions of dollars, and the most powerful GPUs on Earth to building yet another app that optimizes for attention decay? And I include that tweet not because it's especially unique, but because it's a question that has recurred like every 10 minutes on Twitter for the last 7 days. It's a question people have about both Vibes and Sora. What do you think? How do you think of that question?
I think the answer is clear and maybe not one that people want to hear. But how do people expect these GPUs to be paid for?
There has to be a business somewhere along the line.
There has to be a business somewhere on the line. What do we know over the last, if we've learned one thing over the last 15, 20 years, 25 years of technology, what's the company that has done more to push sort of the bleeding edge of this AI stuff?
Google.
How does Google make money?
Attention and advertising.
Ads, attention. Now, Google is sort of unique because obviously Google is huge utility and their ads sort of, so you can make this positive case. Oh, Google ads are fine because it's part of, helping you find stuff. I actually think Google ads they're kind of just a skim. A lot of times you could get what you were looking for just with the Google results. And I think all
Google
search
is selling
ads
search
are a
placement.
little bit of a grift, right?
Right.
I mean, you go to Amazon, right? You search and there's 47 advertised results and then 3 organic ones. And Google does the same thing. You search for anything on Google. The first 3 are the company paying for their own name because they want to be at the top of the list, right? That's just Google grifting money off of people. I've always been sort of a bit of a skeptic about search ads in general. And on the flip side, much more positive about Facebook ads because they're showing you stuff that you didn't know that you wanted. Now, there's a sort of a connection here to some of the other news of the week with OpenAI, and they're linking with Shopify and Etsy. And again, this is another positive aspect of AI that, I talked about. Number one, maybe we've underappreciated just how much creation there is to be unlocked when people have these tools.
Yeah.
Number 2 is for the long tail of products, the things that I didn't know that I wanted, but an Instagram ad shows me, right? We've built up an apparatus, mostly via Meta, for these long tail companies to find consumers. What AI brings forward is the possibility for consumers to find long tail products in a way that was always much more difficult. Sure, if you go to Google and you're very specific about what you want, you'll find it. But if you have a broad need, I'm trying to solve this problem, do X, Y, Z. I gave the example this week. I have a rack in my house with a bunch of computer equipment. I have this 48 PoE switch, which is very expensive and somehow is getting filled up. So I had some old switches from Taiwan that I brought over. I love Unify stuff. I had a network there. And I'm like, look, I can just add, I only need a couple more. I can add this switch in. That switch that I have is not rack mountable. So I'm like, well, it's just sort of sitting on top of my other switch right now. I'm like, it'd be nice to be able to mount this. And so I go in trying to find a rack, which Unify doesn't sell anything like this. But ChatGPT points me to this guy on Etsy that 3D prints every variation of different Unify equipment that you can rack mount it. Got exactly what I needed. Now, this guy could, in theory, have sussed out, let's put some ads on Instagram for people interested in Unify. Maybe he might have found me, but AI let me find him in a way that I don't think I ever would have found him without AI. And so that's really powerful to sort of make it a two-way connection between the long tail of merchants and customers to sort of build these sort of links. So all this goes into that is, I think we can agree that's productive. That's a good thing. That is going to be monetized. And I'm fine with that being monetized, whether it be affiliate fees or OpenAI taking a link of these checkout conversions or sort of whatever it might be. We should also be fine with the other way, that building products that grab attention, that monetize through merchants finding customers is a good thing. It's a good thing in that people find stuff they wouldn't have wanted otherwise. And it's a good thing in that this is the scalable business model that gives the money to keep pushing the frontier. That's what we've seen for the last 15 years. In the long run, if we want OpenAI to keep going and to build the tools that are useful for productivity, that help you, where you can feel good about, I use ChatGPT as a much better product. I actually use it for work. In the long run, it's amazing. It speaks to how useful ChatGPT is, that they've made so much money off of subscriptions that they have. That is going to hit a wall. There's going to be a limit to how much they can earn with that model. If they want to have a truly scalable, large-scale business model, it needs to be ads. If they want a truly compelling ads model that is as big as can be, they need to capture attention. So from my view, if you're excited about OpenAI continuing to progress, continuing to invest, to actually get all the money to build all these data centers and infrastructure that they're talking about, you should be thrilled by Sora's success.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I have a question about Sora as a business model, Sora and Vibes, really. Isn't this insanely expensive? And I don't know whether this is a stupid question, but like, why would this ever be a better business than TikTok, let's say, or YouTube, certainly, where users are uploading real video that they've recorded? I mean, I guess Sora videos are real video, but they're uploading human video, and the marginal cost is zero to those businesses. Whereas this right now, I think is very, very expensive for OpenAI to operate. So, I mean, how much upside is there really, I guess is the question.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure it's extremely expensive. As a rule, generally speaking, compute cost comes down over time. So it's going to get cheaper. It's also going to get faster. Like, it takes a long time. It's easy to make a Sora video. It takes a long time to generate it. And you have to come back and then look at it and post it. Maybe you want to edit it. It's a long process.
It's amazing how spoiled we've all gotten, because it takes 90 seconds or maybe at most 3 minutes, but it feels like a long time.
That's bullish for the build out of AI, because people want it to be faster, or want it to be faster. Like, chips infrastructure is not good enough. And as long as it's not good enough, there's a drive to improve. It's like how processors were not good enough for PCs in the 80s and 90s. It was amazing what you could do, but my gosh, wouldn't it be nice if it could happen a lot faster? And it wasn't until 2000s, 2010s that PCs got fast enough that we used to update your PC all the time, even they were much more expensive, just because getting a new PC was so unbelievably faster that it was worth it. Now it's like you can hold on to your computer. If you still have say an M1 Mac, I'm sure it's totally fine and sufficient probably for most workloads. And that's a machine that came out 5 years ago, right? And so you do hit this eventually, and that is when upgrade cycles elongate. It's not just that you're reaching everyone, but also people are upgrading more slowly. This is sort of always a challenge that it hits. We're a long way away from that for AI. Good news for NVIDIA, right? So that's number one. Number two is this is part of the reason why Sora is disruptive to an entity like Facebook. Facebook is used to getting its content for free. And it's a tough shift to have to actually pay the cost of the content, even if that cost of the content comes down over time. It's still not zero, in a way that the Instagram model is predicated on it being zero. The TikTok model is predicated on it being zero. This is one of the reasons I'm somewhat bullish about, or was bullish about, YouTube. YouTube is used to paying for content. It's in their business model. They pay creators 55, or I think 55%, or is it 45%, whatever, of the revenue, right? And so for them, actually, AI content is cheaper.
Could be cheaper
relative to their other content. For OpenAI, they're starting from scratch. So they can build in that assumption of what they're paying for content over time, reap the benefits of compute getting cheaper, etc. So this is a key
and it's
thing
a threat to Facebook in the sense it would be a threat to Facebook in the event that
a world where Facebook
AI
is
video
successful,
is table stakes.
That's right, because they're now paying marginal cost for content that they weren't paying previously.
Right. And Reels, everybody's going to leave Reels if there are no Sora-like videos on Reels for people to consume. that would be the
Maybe.
threat.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah, well, it's not just that they'll leave Reels; it's that every second spent on Sora is a second not spent on Reels. Like time is the only scarce resource on the internet. There's 24 hours in the day, unless you're double fisting iPhones. I'm watching Reels on one and Sora on the other.
Which
that's
we
the
can
problem for
confirm
Facebook.
you are not. You made a choice. You made one iPhone choice. The reason I asked that and sort of asked that out loud here is because like it's hard for me to imagine people wanting to consume this type of video so much so that they're just living in Sora and abandoning Reels. I think if that's the doomsday
careful
scenario,
on
I know that's
assuming
that
our
is the
preferences
lesson.
are broadly applicable. That's the big lesson of the week.
It could be.